Well, it's September and the garden is starting to produce pretty nicely. Let's go check it out. I wanted to show you my little oak tree farm preliminary. This one little oak tree I found already growing in another planter, so I pulled it out and put it in some soil, another soil, and it seems to be doing fine. It started doing particularly fine when I put it in some water, so it was constantly sucking up water. So the other planters, little containers, have acorns in them too that I've been finding on the ground, and we'll see what happens. I'm pretty pleased with this. My strawberries are giving me some mixed results. These had a pretty good yield this summer earlier, but now they're doing some strange things. If anyone can identify what's happening, let me know. This other planting here is doing just fine. It's a different strain of strawberry. This little container, which I'm going to transplant today, had some surprises for me. It actually gave birth to more strawberries while it was sitting in the position it was sitting in. So I'm enjoying these. I put those cages over them to keep them safe. The ground cherry plant got quite big, and I'm getting ground cherries. Evidently, they're like tomatillas in that they have this papery covering, and then when they fall off into the ground, they are ready. A couple have fallen off, and I've tried them. I think they fell off prematurely because the fruit inside was really tiny, but it was quite good. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm definitely planting this again. Finally, some green zucchini action here. Delighted with that. I do love green zucchini. The asparagus gets more and more magnificent in both plants. I continue to get new spears up. I think next year I'll be able to harvest because that will be the third year. The artichoke is kind of suspended right now. It's growing but slowly. I've heard it takes a while, but I'm babying it and hoping for the best. The rhubarb is finally getting some usable stalks. I think next year I just need to feed it very heavily. A friend of mine asked me for some lemon balm, and I found a ton of volunteers here in the chamomile patch, so I'll be digging those up for her. The lemon balm here, the main planter, went to seed. It bolted, so I cut down all the branches that bolted, and I'm getting a nice second growth here. This area has had some miracles. I've put a lot of energy into the vegetables, covering them with this deer fencing to keep the deer away. Though interestingly enough, the deer don't even come here so far. There's a lot of greenery on the property, and I saw them in another part of the property eating that. This gives you a sense of where they were past the blue totes there. There's a whole little flat area full of this greenery stuff. I have it cut down once a year, and then it comes up, and then in the spring I have it cut down again. There's a lot of water out there, so they grow. I'm glad the deer have found an alternate place to eat. However, I do need to keep that kind of low, especially during the time when I'm outside a lot, because I've seen wild pigs out here and I don't want to give them an opportunity to hide on the property. All the tomatoes are going wild here to the point that they are pulling the stakes up. You can't even see what's going on here, but I've got plenty that are hanging and green, and once a day one of them starts to turn. I've noticed my bigger tomatoes have a split in them, and I was wondering if anyone knew why that was. More tomatoes here. I know it looks like just a mess with the deer fencing, but they grew really tall and really high and really healthy, and I'm getting plenty of tomatoes here too. They just haven't turned yet. I have 2 yellow tomato plants, and they are producing little yellow tomatoes, but the tomatoes are smaller than what they have produced in the past, so I'm not quite sure. At least the ones that have turned yellow earlier are smaller. These that are still green are bigger, so maybe those others were the preliminary ones. It's real hard to photograph nowadays with the deer fencing here, but you can see some yellow zucchini in there. I've got two containers with yellow zucchini here next to each other, and they are both producing now. Just as I say, hard to see under the leaves and on the other side of the fencing. I grew this entire eggplant plant from scratch, and look, there's an eggplant. I believe this is called American Beauty. I got the seeds at Dollar Tree. I think it needed more sun to produce more, but we have time, and maybe there'll be another one like this. I was thrilled, completely from seed. Although this acorn squash plant took forever to get going, I have an acorn squash here and probably more on the way. Thrilled with it. Here's another shot of the tomatoes and the clucking of my neighbor's chickens in the background. Always happy to hear that. So that's where my garden is right now. It is not going to feed the world, but I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with the progress I've made as a gardener. I'm happy with some of the changes I made in the places that I plant things and trying to follow the sun and all that stuff. So in my mind, this has been a success, and we're still only in September, hoping for more things. I keep moving the smaller containers around to accommodate for the sun, and I certainly have learned a lot this year that I'm going to take with me into next year. How are your gardens growing? Are you getting good stuff? I hope so. Thank you so much for watching.